worked out for Denver. It wasn't because anything else, just in case Detroit messed up the draft and went, well, took you.
They did. They messed up the draft.
I know they did. But because I went to Miami at 5.
So I mean, but listen to that story. Everything all played out the way it was supposed to play out. When you look back at it, like no matter how much we look at the way that the draft was or who went where, like it all played out to what it was supposed to be, right? You ended up in Miami. Now look at you. You know what I mean? That's your home. Bron ended up in Cleveland. He did what he did. Like I ended up in Denver. I was doing what I was doing. Like everything that we've done or we've went through has all played out for us in some way, shape, or form throughout our life, especially now. I don't know what I would have been if I would have went to Detroit. I know I'd have had maybe 2 or 3 rings.
I had 2. Definitely had.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how everything else would have played out after that throughout my career. So
Right. So let me ask you though. So and I know people ask this question, like, when did you really know? Like, what age were you when you was pro?
Honestly, I didn't know until like I was in Syracuse, and I didn't even know then.
Really?
I didn't even know. Like high school, when I went to Oak Hill, they was just like, "Oh, you got a chance to come out of high school." I'm like, I'm not coming out. I'm not ready for no NBA coming out of high school. I'm not doing that. To go get drafted 20-something, I'm not that. Like I wouldn't have did that back then. I wanted to go to school. My mom kept saying, "Go to school, go to school." Like I just want you to finish. So that was my mindset. So when I got to Syracuse, it was like, man, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna just have fun. Yeah, we want to win a national championship, but we don't know if we're gonna win a national championship. Like the odds of us winning a national championship that year was very low.
Right, very.
And so it was just like once we started playing in the tournament and we won, we got to the Final Four. And I'm like, look, if we lose this Final Four, I'm coming back. Like there's no thoughts about that. I'm coming back.
Right.
And then we wound up winning. And then I get back to school and Boeheim is like, yo, I don't want to see you on this campus no more. Pack your bags and get on out of here. I ain't really have that many bags up there anyway, but that's what he told me.
That's crazy. I see it. I would have thought, right? I would have thought that you knew back in Oak Hill. Like I would have thought you knew.
Nah, I wasn't even thinking about the NBA. I wasn't even thinking about the NBA. I wasn't even thinking about Oak Hill, to be honest with you. I was in Baltimore. It was just like, man, I just want to get out of here. I want to go to school. That's it. NBA's, I wasn't even thinking about the NBA.
Wow.
It was too far-fetched. Like nobody, like the percentages of people coming out of Baltimore making it to the NBA was slim to none.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not. There's no chance of me making it. I just want let me go to school, let me do what I do, and figure it out from there.
Right. So my coach, Coach Tom Crean, we watched y'all game. We watched the finals game. He made us come and watch.
Even though y'all lost?
Even though we lost, we stayed. We had to come and watch the national championship game, right? I promise you, after watching y'all win, I was like, I'm coming back.
Nah, but that's what college, that's what it do to you. That's what it does to you. And March Madness do that to you.
Then they played, you know, at the end of after y'all win and y'all celebrate, and I'm hating like a motherfucker, dog. I ain't even lie. I'm like, this freshman come in, he win a national championship. Like, man.
We had four freshmen.
Yeah, dude, I was hot. Like I was doing, I feel like I paid my, you know what I'm saying, my dues. they come in national championship. You know,
Everything had to work accordingly though, man. Everything was stacked up the right way that year.
All right, so peep this, right? So I watched you win a national championship in college when I was
right.
There. You watched me win a championship in 2006, like third year NBA. What was your feelings on that when I won that?
What the fuck? Like that's what I'm like, yo, come on, they won it already. I was just like, yo, he done. Like he's set. Like he's set for the rest of his career. Like it is what it is. Like you did it already. Third year in, you're set for the whole time. Like anything else that you do from here is a plus.
Right.
Like that's what my mindset was. I'm like, man, Word, that's what it was. Because then I started going back to me, and this was at the time when you won. This was at the time I was still salty about the Detroit situation. So, so I'm like, damn, I could have been the first one.
But they
So
won the freaking year.
they won that year. So I'm like, oh, I could have been the first one. Like,
Could have been
damn, like
do it.
that's what I was thinking about. I was happy for you, but I'm like, damn, he won the first. He the first one that won. Damn, this gonna be hard for us out here.
Yo, so look, I win, right? I win the championship, and I swear, I think like a week later, remember Brian did his bike-a-thon that we all would go to.
Yeah, we went down there, yeah.
So we went down there a week later, and I remember just like I remember knowing that y'all. I remember knowing how talented y'all was, and I'm like, they're gonna get there. I'm just so happy that I got there first.
You did. No, you did it, man. And like coaches will always tell you, like old school coaches be like, man, you like they'll tell you take advantage of this opportunity if you get a chance to even get there because they're like, man, you ain't no telling when you're gonna get back. You might not get back at all. There's no telling. Every year is different. So the level of respect that I have for you and what y'all did down there in Miami is out of this world because it's hard to do that. Like
Right.
it's hard. It's hard to win one, but to come back and do it consecutively, like 1, 2, 3, like that's hard to do, man.
So hard. All right, man. Listen, let's shift real quick. Look, me and Melo can talk all day. Like we can drink like 9 bottles of wine and sit down in the crib and talk. But we don't got much time, so let's shift gears real quick, bro. I know you do a lot in the wine space. You got a couple of things. People about a few of the things that you're doing, in this wine space.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm taking my time. I'm slowly building. I'm actually about to start doing something probably this Monday, like on my IG live. I never did IG live before, so this is all new to me. But I'm gonna start something Monday. I'm gonna do a live Monday called "What's in Your Glass."
Yeah.
Right, and just I just want to have conversation with people, just chop it up and talk to people, and just build over a glass of wine or a bottle of wine. I want to really know what people be drinking out there though, because they be flexing like they sellers is like that. I want to see if they sellers is really like that. So the concept is what are you drinking? What you drinking?
A lot of
What's
people
in your glass?
seller though. Like a lot
Huh?
of people got the stuff that you got. You got stuff from like long time ago that people like.
But you see, that took a long time to get there. Like that took years and years of like learning, like teaching myself and listening to people and being around it and going to the vineyards and having those experiences, like and realizing what I like. What I like, everybody don't like.
Right. And that's the biggest thing, right? So when we talk about wine, it's not one wine that someone can like, or it's not one region, or it's not one variety. It's different wines that people can like. It's all about your palate, right? Your palate
It's all about your palate.
It's all about what you like. Sometimes what you're eating change the taste of wine, right? Some wine really show out depending on what you're eating, and some wine does not. So it's so much different. Like wine is this thing that's so complex. You know what I'm saying? And no one really have the answer to why. But I know you're one of the people that for me that I look up to, and I'm always mellow when it comes to this wine industry. So I definitely want to make sure we had this conversation. So they say,
No, it's good. Plus it gives me a chance to, test the IG live out for the first time.
listen, this is like my third time doing it. All right, so they said you gonna finish this week out by ourselves, and we're gonna bring Granny in next week. So don't even worry about it. We got like 15 minutes. You cool with that?
I got nothing but time and wine. That's it.
All right, well, we can do as much as we want. All right, so let's go. So I got another question for you, right? So people want to know, obviously, a lot about basketball. So they want to probably know some of our favorites we've had playing together. And for me, I would say one of my moments playing against you was actually when we played y'all in the playoffs. Like, you know me, I always, like, every time I saw you, I just talked a lot of shit, right?
You did.
Talked a lot of shit that people don't know. And it was only just because, like, I knew for the most part, I ain't really have a good chance of guarding you because if you wanted to, you could put me in the basket, right? Like, you are way.
But it was more mental. It was more of a mental challenge because I already knew that y'all was scouting crazy. Like I already knew y'all knew everything, so I had to be smart. It was almost a chess game playing against y'all.
Yeah. But that was my favorite, dog. Just like the fact that we were both on this, like, we in the garden. And at that time, Miami was turned all the way up. So we're in the two biggest stages in basketball at this time, besides LA. And we're, as friends, we got 3 of us out of the Banana Boat crew all playing together on this stage. Like, for me, that was dope.
It was lopsided. It was definitely lopsided. I ain't even gonna hold you. It was lopsided, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking across the court like, yo, these over here, man, is look at y'all, look at us, look at y'all, look at us. Damn. All right, let's go. But that was the mentality.
Yeah, y'all got one game and missed that game winner. I had a chance to close it out, but I missed it.
Yeah, but you ain't got to keep reminding me like.
I was for the people. This for the people.
Oh, okay. I forgot we was on live.
This for the people. You know, you ask me some questions. What you
got? I'm just like the build. Like I don't really have no questions. I'm just on here enjoying this.
All right. Well,
I see you open that Wade over there.
Yeah.
You gotta get to the other bottles over there. You got a long night?
Yeah, I mean it's only out here on the West Coast. It's only 4:47. It's a long night. No.
Oh yeah. I'm on the West Coast too, so I forgot.
Yeah, it's 4:47, so I got a long night. You know what I mean?
All right, we gonna take a page out of D Nice and just go all 24/7.
Instagram live off every hour, so probably we've been going on and off, so I don't know what time, but at some point they're gonna click us out.
It's all good. When they kick us out, they kick us out.
All right, they kick us out then. All right, so we vibing then. So let's talk about let's see what else we can talk about. Let's talk about you. You know I love to talk about this, man. Let's talk about your comeback, your first game. How did that? I remember texting you afterwards, but how did that feel?
It was actually crazy because I'm sitting in the crib and just get the phone call like, is this what you want to do? I'm like, I done been down this road before. Like, let's make sure it's right. Let's make sure all parties are on board and we go from there. So it's like, all right, cool. Like we gonna get it done. This is like a Wednesday. They're like, oh, could you meet us Friday? I'm like, oh, Friday? I'm sitting on the couch. I can't meet y'all. I can't go play on the game on Friday. I've been on the couch. Like, I've been training, but it's different training. So I get the call, I go. I'm like, let me just get through the weekend. I meet them in New Orleans, and then I had to really snap back into basketball mindset. Like, I was already, like, disconnected from it, but I had to snap back into it. But once I got there and, like, went to the team meeting, like, went on the bus, it wasn't no shoot around because it was a back-to-back, so I had to go, to the arena regular time.
Yeah.
But that it just started kicking in. Like, just all those past experiences and things that we know athletes really enjoy. Locker room, bus, plane. That's what started to kick back in first. And then the game was easy because I knew I was doing my job and doing my work anyway.
Right. Like, so, but you played well in your first game back. Like, how did that feel, though?
But I was in shape. Like, that was the biggest thing. Like, it wasn't even basketball. I'm like, yo, I just want to be like, I want to get through the first time out. Like, if I get through the first time out, I'm good. Like, just let me check my win and see if I can get through the first time out. Once I got through the first time out, I'm like, oh, there's no more adrenaline no more. This is, all right, I'm cool. Like, this is my work been paying off. My conditioning been paying off. So, but that was a special game, man. Going back to New Orleans, like, everything started to come to me. Being in New Orleans, playing down there again, first game back, Syracuse National Championship in New Orleans, like, all of that started to come back to me, like, that history in those moments.
Shout out to Chris Brinkley, trainer up in New York, who obviously worked with you when you was out for that time. Shout out to him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a collective effort, man, because everywhere I was at, it was like, when I was in New York, it was like, it was no days off for me. Like, and the people who know. Right, I was with Brick. I was with my guy Garson doing the weights, and then I would go to LA. And when I'm in LA, I'm with Alex, and I'm with this guy lifting, and I just wherever I was at, I was locked in. And I haven't locked in like that in a long time because mentally, I knew I had to stay strong mentally, so I had to really lock in on that situation.
Right, for sure. I'm getting over here, Mel. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm sweating a little. Right.
I'm still light over here.
Let's shift gears a little. we talk about more so than anything. Like right now, this is probably the most basketball that we ever talked about. Like we don't talk about a lot of basketball. So let's shift gears a little bit and let's just talk about the fam a little bit, man. Talk about Cayenne. Like we all see him on Instagram, man. Like he putting it together. About, you know, where he is and where you feel like, you know, his next step is.
I think for him it's just more like he have an IQ, a high IQ at that level, for that age, and I think he gotta understand the next step and putting the IQ with what it takes. And he grinds, he works hard. I take my hat off to him for that. He won it,
He
but
won.
it's sometimes it doesn't translate to one another when I say that, because he's thinking the game instead of playing the game at times. Like he know what to do, but a lot of times he don't. It doesn't translate. So I think for me it's just more of getting him to understand who he is, the situation that he's in. I stay on him about that. Like building, like having resilient, being resilient, being tough out here, because everybody know what time it's gonna be when he out there. Everybody coming for him, so he gotta want that. He gotta embrace that. And the moment that he start embracing that, he gonna be good.
Like I've been talking about this with my son, right? Like this year, his senior year, he came to obviously a very known school in Sierra Canyon, and we was all very excited and those guys to play together. And he got injured and didn't really have the season and didn't play as much as he wanted to, right? But what I talked to him about, first time in his life, this was the first time that he's dealt with some form of adversity, right? Like one thing about our kids, sometimes they are closed off a little bit from the world, like the real world, and how tough it is to really make it in anywhere in life. And I think the first time he's had to deal with some form of adversity, and as a father, like, yeah, I'm a little angry about that, but I'm also excited about to see how he's going to really like respond to this adversity, right?
That's what we come in at, right? So that's where all the work that we put in over these years to show our resiliency.
Right.
Now we got to start like giving them that, like letting them see that. We don't. I mean, there's enough of sitting down watching film with them doing this, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty of it, you got to be resilient in this game, because the adversity gonna come to you in different ways, different forms. This year he didn't play as much as he probably wanted to, right? So that's a different situation for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So mentally, he battling that. You know, he battling coming into his own. He battling being the man on his team before, but now he coming into a team where there's other good players on the team. Okay, how do I adjust to that? Mentally, emotionally, how do I adjust to that? So I'm happy, not happy, but it's good for me and my son to see that. Right? It's good for my son to see that, because it's like, yo, they don't give a damn about who you are. Like, they don't care whose son you are. Like, you got to come out here and you got to put in the work. Everybody gonna go through adversity. You're not gonna have a clean slate. You're not gonna have, just your whole career gonna be good. Like, you're gonna have moments. You're gonna have years that's down. You're gonna have time where you second guessing things. You second guessing yourself. Like, it's how you come out of that. Like you said, I've been through it. You've been through it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like our kids, they see what they see now of us, right? Or like even someone like your teammates. You got two teammates. You got Dame and CJ, who neither one were highly, recruited like that or went to these big D1 universities. But they see them now, and they be like, "Oh snap, Dame, CJ," but they don't see the journey and they don't see the hardship and what they went through and the doubt. You know what I mean? Like it's doubt that time, but then it's the work that you put in. So they don't see that. And one thing the NBA does is when they see us playing, they be like, "Oh, that's who I want to be like," but they don't get to see the entire journey.
Right.
Everybody's journey don't go like this. Sometimes your journey goes like this eventually before you get there. You know what I mean?
I mean, trust me, I know all about that, and I'm the main person who can vouch to that. Like I know what it's like to have, all of these years where you this and you that, and you this and you that, you holding things down, and then one thing happened and it's taken from you. So now you got to look at life a little differently. You got to look at situations. You start looking at people differently. You start realizing and working on how you can maneuver through things and start figuring out other ways to be successful or be effective at when that comes to that. So for me, like he's good. Our kids are good. I just want them to know that at the end of the day, you have to want it. Like, we can't want it more than you want it.
Right.
And once they understand that and it clicks, then everything will be good.
All right. So, know, as a basketball, like, it's easier for us, right, to be able to parent kids that play the sport that we play. Like, we can parent them on the basketball. But outside of, what do you do to, like, how do you parent Cayenne? Like, what are the values? What are the things you're trying to teach them away from just sports, like in life of a young black?
Yeah,
You know?
respect. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. If you don't have no respect, then ain't nobody gonna respect you. And that's like one of the main things that we preach in this household. Like, you gotta respect people.
Right.
You gotta show people that you're respected, like you're respectful. You gotta have manners. You gotta treat the janitor like you treat the CEO of the company. And that, when I say that, that's not cliche at all. Like, that's real. Ooh, somebody took your wine?
Yeah, you know, took my wine.
You got a sommelier over there, man?
Yeah, hey, that's my sommelier.
Oh, what up, sis?
Like, people, like, listen, people don't know how much of family we really are. Like, they look at the Banana Boat crew and think that's family. Like, we go way beyond that. We go, like, Gab is your sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? Li's my sister. Like,
Nah, that's family. That's it. It goes so deep there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Gab was on the Banana Boat.
I know. You weren't even on the Banana
I wasn't even on the Banana Boat. It was Gab that was on there.
Right. I've been trying to tell people, man, but they don't want to listen, man.
Yo, you want to say what's up to the live?
Nah.
We were just bidding you up.
Nah.
You won't get your followers on TikTok.
Nah.
Get over here. Get over here.
No.
Get over here.
What up to your aunt, bro?
Tell Mr. Wade I said
Yo, D said what up?
What's up, Mr. Wade?
What's up, Mr. Wade?
Look at this. The way.
Mel, in your own words, please tell the story of when we were in the Bahamas and it didn't look like you were gonna make it.
Yo, you just brought my shit back on that.
From your words,
Oh.
like inside your body when that.
Yo, that shit got me sweating right now. Think about that. D, where you was at, first of all? You didn't even come help me out.
When? What are you talking about?
I'm gonna tell you the story right now. We jumped off the boat.
Oh, I wasn't getting off.
We jumped off the boat in the Bahamas. We went. Everybody swam to the little grotto over there underneath. Then we came out. All of y'all went to the boat, and it was my fault though, because I'm still trying to see the last little bit of the barracuda snorkeling and all that. So it was my fault. Then I look up. The current is taking me in the middle of the ocean, like opposite from the boat.
We couldn't see you.
I know. And it was windy. It was all type of shit was going on through my head. I'm gonna be honest with you. Then I look up at the boat and I see Braun jumps off the boat like he's MacGyver.
No, like that commercial that he had, the LeBrons, like
Yes, exactly. He jumped off the boat into the water. He was bringing me back with one arm. He's swimming with the other arm, and he carrying me in one arm.
I told people this story before. I said, listen, I've seen LeBron do a lot of amazing things on the court.
That was special.
On the court, when he went and saved Melo life.
He saved my life. I can't hold you. He saved my life. He saved my life. Yo, Bron, I appreciate that. You saved my life that day.
Yeah, shout out.
Them little flippers wasn't working for me.
Yo, Mel, I don't know if you I know you remember now. So think about it. I wasn't getting in the water.
You ain't want to jump in with us.
So you remember when we went to the cave, and then everybody was going under. You had to go underneath the current to go into that cave.
Yeah, you wasn't rocking with that. Nah, you wasn't rocking with that.
Gotta go, bro. Like, we out here, we in the middle of the ocean, we this, we that, we gotta go. Like, you talked me into jumping in that water. I didn't want to go.
And see, I talked you into jumping in the water. Then look what happened to me. I almost ended up on the other side of the island over there.
I said your metric. Yeah, facts.
That was a special time, bro.
What else can we cover on here? And this is good, dog. All right, listen, man, bro. All right, listen. Let me say something. I gotta say this. A lot of putting on that. Let me say one thing. I was in Portland, and so before you signed with Houston, I wanted you to go to Portland.
Yeah, you did.
Go to Houston. You remember when we went to that dinner? I was like, Mel, I don't like it.
Yeah, you did. You did. You did. No, you're right. I mean, listen. You did. It was you. It was three people. You, my wife, and my son was telling me go to Portland. My wife was telling me go to Portland for 4 years. I'm like, yo, how you just want me to just pick up and just leave? Like, I'm under contract over here. What do you want me to do? But that's been like she's been telling me that for the longest. You too, though. That last meeting, you told me like, yo.
Oh, I didn't like you in Houston, and it wasn't because obviously CP was there and like James player. Portland.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. And I'd like from here on out until the end of my time, like Portland will always hold a special place to me. Like for them to open this up to me, like not even the organization, the city, like open up the city to me and make me feel wanted like that. Like that's big. That's major. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If it wasn't for me going to Houston,
Yeah.
my whole like perspective on things would have been totally different.
Right.
Like right now, like that situation, even though it was bad, it was just more of eye opening for me. Like
right.
it made me sit still for a minute. It made me like go dig in my literature. It made me like really figure out what I like life. And any other time we don't get time to figure out life like that until after everything is done. I was able to figure out life in the midst of the turmoil. Like people don't get that often at all.
Yeah.
So to be in the game, step out the game, get a chance to reevaluate and then restructure, and then come back into the game with a different mindset, a different perspective.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Nobody gets a chance to do that.
Facts. Yeah, you're right. So listen, we talk about this all the time. All the people out there that don't know Melo, and I said this a few times in a few interviews. A lot of people trying to get me to come, and it wasn't for lack of talent. Like obviously, I know I can still play in the NBA even right now today. But Melo was like, "Yo, we need you. The fan needs you. The game needs you to come back for your last year, so we can pay respect to you, bro, for what you meant to this game." And I to you, dog. And a lot of people was calling me in my ear, telling me this and that. But you really got through to me that day with me, you, and the wives. We went to dinner, and you told me that. I was like, you know what? I think my guy's right. Like, even though I didn't know what I was going to do at that moment, you really got through me because I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, trust me. I know. I know that now that I went through what I went through, I know where you was at. Cause I said the same shit. I'm done. I'm not messing with this game no more. I'm finished with this. It ain't the game don't love me the way I love it no more. Like that's what I started thinking.
You know what I'm saying? Think about this, bro. Like I gave everything I had to Miami for 13 years, right? I gave money, I gave my body, I sacrificed so much. And when I got to the position where I had to now think outside of Miami and I had to think of playing somewhere else, like I was hurt. Like no doubt about it. Like my pride, my ego, my feelings, it was all hurt. And when I went to Chicago for that year, like actually I did need that to see that life it was bigger than just basketball for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so like basketball. Chicago made me so much bigger. It opened my mind up for so many things. But I'm not gonna say I wasn't hurt. Like I mean, like I wish it didn't happen. I'm glad that some of it did, but I wish it didn't happen. But I was hurt, so I definitely understand where you were at from New York, feeling it, and then obviously what happened in Houston in 10 games, which was fucking crazy. So we both definitely understand what it feels like from this game to be here at the top. Like we was at the top of this game, and then at some point, you know, people acting like they don't really respect or what you have meant to the organization. Like that hurt, bro. You know what I mean?
Because we live in a society where everything is instantaneous. Like it's on to the next so quick, right? It's you just think about it. It's like we program to that because we play 82 games a year. We play every other night or sometimes back to back. So it's like we lose a game. It's like, oh, you don't have time to be mad about that game. You got to move on to the next thing. So we always program like that. So
Right.
when we have a chance to sit still and really think about it, that's where things start to make sense. We start putting things in place. We start prioritizing. We start prioritizing people. Start prioritizing life. What's important to us, what's not important to us. At the end of the day, this game is just a game. At the end of the day, we've been doing it for a long time. We put a lot of work into who we are today. It's not people just see highlights. Now everybody just see highlights, so they
Right.
judge you off of highlights. If you ain't doing something on the highlight, it's over. Nobody's watching full games no more. For example, like NBA now is playing old games. They replaying games. So I'm sitting down with my son the other day, and I forgot what game we was watching, and he's just like, "Oh, Dad, that's so and so. Oh, I seen that highlight." I'm like, "Yeah, you saw the highlight. Now you get to see the game. Now you get to see what happened in the highlight." Then he was like, "Yo, now that highlight don't even mean that much to me no more."
Right.
And I'm like, "Why you say that?" He was like, "Because I'm actually seeing the lead up to the actual highlight."
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the knowledge that we're kicking to each other. And I'm like, oh, so you understand what these highlights would do to you. Don't be that guy.
You ever like you about to play a team, that week, and they give you like the highlights of each player on the team. Every player on that team look like an all-star, or every
Man,
team.
that's a film session. That's a film
Bro,
session for you.
bro, they make every team look like the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? The 72-10 Bulls. They make every player look like an all-star,
Yeah.
and that's what highlights do.
Man, highlights is the most beautiful thing and the most dangerous thing at the end of the day, because I've sat even with my son, like, I'm more into the kids now and AAU and all of that. So I'm seeing, like, we always go back and forth on the highlights, who doing this, and I'll be like, I want to see the game. Like, let me go watch a game. So when I go to these tournaments, he's like, oh, why you want to watch that game? I'm like, I'm watching it from a different perspective.
Right.
I want to see what your highlight reel is talking about. Right.
Right.
So I get the game today, and I support all the highlights, because that's where we at. And people love highlights. Like, everybody love highlights. We love highlights. We love to watch our own highlights. But when
Oh,
you talking about,
are you watching?
huh?
Are you going on YouTube and watching your own highlights right now?
No. I haven't watched my highlights. I haven't watched my highlights in a while. My son will send me highlights. La will send me highlights. Like, she's on it all day.